morning, good morning. This is Pierre here, your daily motivator. Always here to challenge, inspire, and motivate you. So this morning on episode 439, today I'm here to really encourage you in this episode and really remind you of the importance of staying the course. So first off, let me start by saying, take heed lest you fall. And the reason I'm saying that is because when you have succeeded, what happens is that a lot of times we put our guards down. So this week, I talked to you about the top 4 platforms, some of which have reached as much as $1 trillion in market capitalization. You know, for a company to be valued at $1 trillion, never happened before. Now, all 4 companies are worth between 500 trillion and 900, between 500 billion and 900 billion right now. So from 5 to 9. But very few companies have even reached $100 billion market capitalization. So this is to tell you that these companies are in a space of their own. And what I want to tell you is this. Let's get back to you. Why exactly are you building today? Because there are people around you, all around you, that are building businesses. Question that I have for you is, are you building for income? Which usually is what most people are building for, because they got in a place where, for whatever reason, they're not making enough money. So they decided to make and create a business. So you're hearing my door is open and I'm watching the sunrise right now, and the birds are in the background. It's really gorgeous and beautiful. I think I'll probably end up using one of these pictures that I was taking for the background to this episode. But anyway, the point is, are you building for income? And nothing wrong with building for income, but a lot of times we build for that because we may be in dire straits and we know we better make some money to take care of our families. That's noble. Are you building for influence? Of course, we are living in the influence generation. More than ever, can you get in front of a camera and start influencing other people and start leading other people? Now, of course, while everybody's trying to do it, there are some folks that are better at it than others. They are more genuine in front of the camera and they simply let go and they tell it like it is. And a lot of people love that, and therefore they identify with these folks. So I can think of some in my own market, on the internet specifically. There's a few folks I could name that whether it's Tony Robbins, whether it's, let's say, some names you would know, Gary Vaynerchuk, right? Grant Cardone. A lot of folks are building for influence, but at the same time too, they know that influence will bring them even more money, because what they're working on and banking on is the know, like, and trust. And then from trusting them, you now are spending a lot of money with them. Or are you building for impact? And this is one that you have to take some time to think about, because a lot of us, we're not building for impact. We are basically building because we want to get what we want to get now. We're not thinking about the next generation. We're not necessarily concerned what they do. We're not thinking legacy, at least not at first. And what I want to remind you of is that if you are building for impact, don't think about impacting people now, but also even after you're gone, even after you've left this earth. So remember, the first thing I told you is, when you're winning, humble yourself. When you're winning, don't fall into the snare that happens to most folks when they're winning, and that's, we can take this, we can go after this. No, don't get in that mindset. Remember, the reason that you're winning is because you put in place some key steps. You're following a system, you're following some processes, and as a result, you end up getting the results. And the results are, you've won. So how do you get to that goal? Well, it starts with your work ethic. What exactly are you willing to persevere through until you get the results? So I want to remind you, listen, keep your goals aligned with your vision. Again, remember, we're talking about not quitting, staying the course. Because if your goals are not in line with your vision, maybe you're on a job right now and you don't like that job, quit. Go find something else to do that you actually know is aligned with your vision. Maybe you want to run your own company someday. Well, it is absolutely time for you to learn about all the different parts of a company, all the different functions in a company, whether it be accounting, whether it be sales, marketing, different functions, operations, finance. You need to understand all the different functions of a business, because at the end of the day, whether you like it or not, the only thing that's going to cause the business to grow is more sales. So, and I submit that that's the one thing you absolutely need to learn about. So let me just remind you about the 80-20 rule as we're talking about that. What are you focused on? If you want to have the biggest impact now and later, what is your focus? Where exactly are you going? Are you focused on the things that yield only so much? Because remember, 80% of what? 80% of what you're doing is not what's yielding 80% of the results. It's the top 20% of the 80-20 rule. What is that 20% that is effective, where the inefficiencies need to be worked out so that you can produce more? Again, let me remind you, sales and marketing for whatever business you're doing need to be the most important thing you're doing. They need to be the top things you're doing, especially if you're working to have greater impact. So let's go a little further. You've got to have your goals, as I was saying, aligned with your vision. A vision for what? To generate more income, generate more influence, generate more impact, right? You've got to think big, and you've got to build big. And this is a mistake that I see a lot of people doing. I used to make it too. When you don't think big, you basically condemn yourself to a life of, well, let's call it this way. You've basically decided you're not going to have impact. That's basically it. You're going to live this life and you'll be forgotten because you never made a boom. You never really made any noise and attracted folks to what it is that has caused you to go where you're going, what it is that has impacted you the most, right? So think big and build big, because what you must remember is that nothing is impossible. But know this, build in line with the manufacturer, the one who sent you here, the one who created you. Challenge the obstacles along the way, but definitely remain within his boundaries for you, because he's got safety for you, right? And he's got righteousness for you. He's got all these things set aside for you, but you have to partake of these things. You have to step into them. And that doesn't happen when you get out of his boundaries. So I'm going somewhere here. Stay in your right mind, because guess what? We all fail. At one point or another, we all fail. And that's why I'm telling you, don't be a fool when you fail. Stay the course. Take heed. You don't have to fail. But should it happen, remember, you have an advocate. Go back to him and keep moving forward. Take heed. And most important one, this is a good one for you. Do not fear what men can do to you. Do not fear what they can do to you. And of course, it's going to come through their words. They're going to try to intimidate you. Do not fear. Pick up your cross and stay at your craft. Remember, pick up your cross and stay at your craft. Point is, you've got to learn, you've got to develop, you've got to create, you've got to generate for generations, because you want to pass it on. You want to leave a legacy. So I simply wanted to encourage you today. Stay the course. Stay on the path. Remain in the way. Do not quit. There's going to be many opportunities to quit. Don't take them. There's going to be many opportunities to get distracted. Don't take them. And should you fail for 1 minute, get up, dust yourself off, and keep moving forward. And I hope this is encouraging somebody. Most importantly, think big, because that's the only way you're going to stay out of your comfort zone. Again, on this weekend reflection, I simply wanted to encourage you today. It's Pierre Laguerre, your daily motivator. I'll catch you on the next episode.